This is a James Bond pinball machine made by the manufacturer Stern and available from Pinball Heaven, who are the UK's largest pinball distributor. This is the Pro version, but it's also available in a premium version, which is one level up from this one. I've only just seen this machine, so this is my initial impression. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick look around the cabinet, quick look around the playfield and see some of the things that are in there and what is, let's be fair, a really, really iconic theme. And then we're going to have a little game and see how she plays. So, without further ado, let's take a look at that playfield. So, the first thing we're going to take a look at is the apron of the pinball machine itself. It's got insider connected. I'm not going to go into the details of what that is now, but suffice to say it allows you to log your scores online, compete with your friends and win certain rewards from Stern, and there's certain achievements which you have to gain. I'll leave that for a video for another day. But if we look at the playfield itself now, this is in fact a 3-flipper game. The first 2 flippers down the bottom, as you'd expect, and they're actually illuminated by these quite 2 neat lights just there, which give you a little bit of illumination. It's particularly handy in this environment, which we're playing it in an arcade at the moment. I think it's great to see these games out in the wild and to see them at an arcade, because they really do get a good, robust test. You'll see here in the middle, if you like James Bond, if you know James Bond, a lot of this stuff is going to be familiar to you. You've got Dr. No, From Russia with Love, Goldfinger, Thunderball, You Only Live Twice, and Diamonds Are Forever. Now, as you go through the game, the insert lights on the playfield itself will keep track of your progress, but you'll also get to see that on the on the LCD display, which we'll go into in just a moment. Slingshots here. I don't find these 2 slingshots on this game too brutal, really. I thought these were quite kind when I played it. We've played 2 games just before recording this video, and I had reasonably long ball times on them, which I thought was... I really enjoyed that. I think probably the centrepiece of this game is this iconic Aston Martin DB5 there. Now, it's not just there as a bit of garnish. This actually does something, because what you'll see is that the ejector seat, which is obviously a massive part of James Bond and of the story, what will happen is there's a little scoop underneath the car. The ball will go into the scoop and it will pop out of this ejector seat, pop into this wire form and run down and through onto this flipper to enable you to hit the shot. I think this is really good. It's really neat. It's very, very well done. I've certainly been critical in the past of some of the toys that have been produced on some pinball machines. This is really good. I think this is an excellent... I think it's, well, it will hopefully turn out to be an iconic pinball moment. The first thing you'll notice here, you've got villain modes, which you can see the villains down here, some of whom you'll recognise, Goldfinger himself, Blofeld. If you hit this ramp, then that's how you start to activate some of those modes there. You'll also notice there's a double ramp that both provide the same feed and the same wire form, which again takes you back down to that right flipper. This ramp here, you will only hit from the flipper, which you will see on the left-hand side of the playfield. What I must say is, I found that this to be the villain mode, a very, very rewarding shot. It's very similar to the shot on Deadpool, also the shot on Batman 66. There's no surprise in that, because it's from the same designer, who's George Gomez. As I mentioned, it is a 3-flipper game, which you can see on the left-hand side of the playfield. You've got this flipper just here. But what underneath it, what looks like almost a little dead zone, it's really not, because just under here where my finger's pointing, there is another scoop, there's another ejector, there's another kicker in there, there's another solenoid, which will bring the ball back into play. That was certainly something, I thought going into the game, I thought that was probably going to kill the momentum of the game quite a lot. It did it far less than I actually thought. It actually gets rid of it and ejects it very, very quickly indeed. Then we start going to the back section of the playfield here. There's 3 drop targets, which you can see just here. Sorry, if I press them there, you'll see them drop down. They expose what is the rocket ship here, which you then hit. That's a bash toy. And hopefully you'll be able to see, just at the bottom of the rocket ship, you'll see the Spectre signs. Can you see those there? There's how many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 drop targets around the back here, which give you other shots to aim for. One of my favourite shots on this game, and as I say, I've only just started playing it, and hopefully I'll be able to demonstrate this in the gameplay, is this left, we'd call it a left orbit under normal circumstances, but it does a little bit more. It's almost like, I think it's the Black Panther shot on Avengers Infinity Quest, but in reverse. So you hit this spinner, which is obviously diamonds, so you're going to be diamonds forever. Hit the spinner, it will go right round the back, roll up here, past Sean Connery, oh, the money penny, down to this wire form, and it will follow the wire form down, and it will return the ball back to this left flipper here. Very rewarding shot, feels great when you do it, and if you can after follow that up maybe by hitting the villain modes ramp, which is the furthest right ramp, it just feels like a good combination. I can't pretend to know whether that's a particularly good scoring strategy, but I certainly enjoyed doing it. We've also at the back of the playfield got a little target here. Now on the premium, on the LE versions, there's actually a little tank that goes there. You can see a picture of it, and there's a Bond on a jetpack who will swing out from the backboard and swing out over here and drop a ball on him. That's just a feature that is only in the premium and LE versions. It's not in the Pro version. What I think you'll probably find is you'll probably have a little bit more flow on this version because that's not there. You're not going to have the same stop-start, which is the benefit of it. I guess the downside is you don't have that wonderful pinball moment and that toy. Going into the pop bumpers at the back here, it doesn't seem to get caught up there for too long, which I quite like. I like pop bumpers, I really do, but I think sometimes the ball can get caught in that section of the game for too long. Not so much here. The game itself felt like it had a really, really good pace about it. The upper flipper shot actually allows you to hit the ball into the pop bumpers from here. It will go along where maybe you can see some of the Bond girls along there. You can hit that shot there, or you can hit it up here, which returns it back to the flipper. It also does a lovely little inner loop there. So there's actually a lot of shots that can be hit in this upper playfield section. The one shot I've just noticed, which I forgot to mention at the start, is this shot just here from Russia with Love, which is in the middle, in between the target here and this villain modes ramp. The cabinet art, as you will hopefully see from the side, they differ, they vary on every single game. This is the Pro version, that's Dr. No. If you go onto Pinball Heaven, go onto the website, you can see all the various different art packages on each one. And you'll see the man himself, Sean Connery, obviously featuring prominently on the side of the back box. Okay, I think without further ado, it's probably time to have a game. Okay, we're going to start a game now. We're just going to commence by pressing the start button there. But what I'd like to say just before we do begin, it is worth noting that all of these games are customizable in terms of the difficulty level. So if you want to explore a little bit more of the game, because it just seems the longer these games get produced, the deeper the code is. The rule sets are really quite extensive. So what you can do is you can set it to play a 5-ball game, 6-ball game, 7-ball game. You can put additional extra reward balls on there. You can increase or decrease the difficulty of the individual modes. For this game, we just put it on 3 balls. We just want to show you the game. But what you do is just at the start, you just press start once. If you're playing on your own, you can play up to 4 players on each of these games, but I suggest you only press that 4 times at the start if you do have 4 players to play with. Otherwise, you're going to find it very, very difficult to understand what's going on. So by pressing start, the ball will appear in the trough, which we can just see there. Now, because I know the designer of this game is somebody called George Gomez, his skill shots on his game, you always hold down the left flipper button, which will allow the ball to travel round for a skill shot. A skill shot is a shot that you get at the start of a game, which will award you some extra points. I'm going to pull back the plunger, release the ball, and miss the skill shot, exactly. No, actually, I think I did get a skill shot then. So that was good. Hopefully you just saw that. It was a really lovely shot. The orbit shot is fantastic on this. Now, I don't know if you noticed, but at the top where it said MI6, there were 3 lights. Actually, the idea is to light all of those lights by allowing the ball to pass across the light path. I changed it by using the flipper buttons.
You'll want to complete the structure tasks to build Bird 1 Jack.
Just popped in the scoop that I mentioned earlier. Oh, is it going to roll back down? I think it is.
Look at that.
Great little shot, that. Great little shot. As I say, I don't feel that it's an unkind game. It's certainly getting, you know, if you were going to, it's on location as this one is, you certainly don't feel that you're not going to get your £2 worth or whatever it is. So again, I'm close to lighting that MI6 at the top again, which is going to increase my bonus. I do wonder if I can get it in. I'd be nice to at some point during the game try and get it into the car. No, I've got to do better than that to get it into the car. Causing poor Spencer, who's on the camera, all kinds of trouble there by trying to predict what shot I'm about to do next. So a post has actually popped up in the in lane here, which means the screen is going to instruct me what to do. I'm about to start a mode. If you press both flipper buttons, you can cut the animations down if you want to, but the first few times you try it, I actually got it into the car then. You'll hopefully see that will eject at the top of the DB5, which it has. And now I'm in something called Jetpack Multi-Ball. So this is just going to be frenetic fun. I do really like this designer, George Gomez. I have two of his games at home, Deadpool and Batman 66. I've had many of his games. He also produced Monster Bash, which I also had at home as well. I've just always liked the way he designs games. Oh dear, that was absolutely my fault. Not a bad little first ball there.
It's quite impressive.
Okay, so I plunge it, second ball now, try and plunge that again. Hopefully you saw that. It does eject from that area very quickly. It doesn't seem to massively kill the flow and the pace of the game. It is a quick game, this. Even that was actually quite a kind bounce then. Oh, but that was an unkind bounce. Hey, that's pinball. If you're going to start letting the ball go into the slingshots, anything can happen. My last ball, unless I'm able to get an extra ball, which is something Spencer did just a moment ago on his game. He got an extra ball. He was playing it for quite a long time, actually. It's a great shot. We love that shot. It's a nice little combination there. I do enjoy that. So there's one more target. I don't know if you can see that next to the rocket. There's one more target to hit down, which I've got now. Oh, something's going on. And if you can see that, there's a red light just at the top there. It almost wants me to only hit one thing in the game, which is there. Oh, just missed it. Almost need to get it back up into that section. Oh dear, come on. Okay, there's actually another red light lit now as well. So I think what happened is it timed out then. It needed me to hit a shot in a certain amount of time, those red ones. I suspect it would have scored very highly had I done so. Multi-ball, Jetpack Multi-Ball. So as you can see, even though I didn't play particularly well on my on my second ball. I've still got another multi-ball going. I do like that shot. Try and get a jackpot if I can. That's what you got to do. Oh my, I just lost. I did get a jackpot just before the ball dropped. I'm no longer in multi-ball. And it clearly wants me to hit a couple more of those targets, which I'm going to do now. Back in the DB5. This is great. That's a great shot. I like that. As Spencer will confirm, I'm not the best in the world at scoop shots, so it's nice to get that one. Good sound effects on that spinner, actually. So I've lit Spectre at the back. Oh no, sorry, I've got one more to get, which I think again is that orbit shot is lighting Spectre on the backboard.
Radio test reconnaissance.
The lunar sky activated. Hold it. Now, command the strikers place your servers.
Oh.
We get away without something. Don't do one into
Oh, I lost the ball. What a shame. Had it have gone on this outline, I actually had ball save lit. But I don't think that was a bad go. I really don't. There you go. 111 million. That's Dr. No. Well, it's not Dr. No. This is the Dr. No version of James Bond. I really enjoyed that. First impressions, first time I've seen this game today. This is the pro version. This is a really good game. Actually, far better than I actually thought it would be. It really has surprised me. Nice, fast-paced game. If you'd like to get one of these, then the link is in the description below. And go and check out Pinball Heaven, who are the largest UK pinball distributor.